The U.S. House of Representatives approved the Laken Riley Act on Tuesday, marking the first bill passage of the new Congress, as Donald Trump and fellow Republicans turn their attention to immigration after heavily campaigning on the issue in the November elections.
On my first day back in the Oval Office, I will sign a historic slate of executive orders to close our border to illegal aliens and stop the invasion of our country. And on that same day, we will begin the largest deportation operation in American history, larger even than that of President Dwight D. Eisenhower. And as part of Operation Aurora, you know all about Aurora, how horrible that's been. Every single foreign gang and illegal alien member, all of this criminal network operating on American soil will be dismantled, deported, and destroyed.
It's a sign of just how central immigration and border security will be for Republicans under the incoming Trump administration. The party spent the last 4 years railing against what they said was the Biden administration's dereliction on border security. The vote was 264 to 159, as 48 Democrats joined 216 Republicans in supporting the bill. The jump in support from Democrats this year signifies some Democrats' willingness to support President-elect Donald Trump's immigration agenda, which includes mass deportations of the estimated 11 million undocumented immigrants in the U.S. It now goes to the Republican-controlled Senate, which is expected to consider the proposal in the coming days. The bill was one of a dozen pieces of legislation listed in the House GOP's rules package that passed last week, allowing it to be voted on under a streamlined process. The bill is named after Laken Riley, a 22-year-old Augusta University nursing student in Georgia who was killed in February 2024 by Jose Antonio Ibarra, a 26-year-old Venezuelan man who crossed the U.S.-Mexico border through El Paso in 2022. Riley was a dedicated Christian who wanted to become a nurse after graduating. Months before the killing, Ibarra was arrested on a shoplifting charge at a Georgia Walmart, but was later released. Prosecutors argued that he was out hunting for females when he came across Riley on February 22nd. When she refused to be a rape victim, he bashed her skull in with a rock repeatedly, they said. Currently, any immigrant, including legal U.S. permanent residents, who commit serious or violent crimes, such as aggravated felonies, drug possession, or drunk driving, can be arrested and eventually deported. However, the current proposal looks to widen the deportation pipeline by requiring U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement to detain undocumented immigrants accused of less serious crimes such as burglary, theft, larceny, or shoplifting. It would also allow state attorneys general to sue the federal government if they believe their states have been harmed by its failure to enforce immigration laws. States could bring legal challenges if they can demonstrate harm of at least $100 to the state or its residents, and courts would be required to expedite these cases. This provision marks a significant shift from current law, which primarily limits state involvement to information sharing and coordination with federal authorities. The Laken Riley Act has sparked significant debate about the balance between public safety and civil liberties. Proponents argue that the bill prioritizes the safety of Americans by ensuring those who commit crimes face consequences, regardless of their immigration status. They claim this approach sends a strong message about accountability and deters illegal activities. However, critics caution against the potential for overreach, highlighting that it could lead to the unnecessary detention of individuals who pose no real threat to public safety. This aspect has drawn attention to the broader implications of the bill on immigrant communities across the nation. Republicans frequently pointed to Riley's murder at the hands of an undocumented immigrant who had previously been arrested on theft-related charges as evidence of the need for stronger border policies. Republican Mike Johnson, the newly re-elected Speaker of the House, condemned most House Democrats for opposing the bill and accused them of ignoring the wishes of voters who delivered a victory for Trump in November. House Republicans heard the voices of those who wanted change and voted to pass the Laken Riley Act, Johnson said in a statement. We will always fight to protect Americans, and today's success is just the beginning of Republican efforts to undo the catastrophic damage caused by years of the Democrats' failed leadership. Democrats framed the bill as a clear attempt to demonize immigrants that failed to address the underlying issues of the U.S. immigration system. Representative Jamie Raskin, a Democrat of Maryland and the ranking member of the House Judiciary Committee, attacked Republicans over advancing a poorly crafted bill that would only make partisan hay out of other people's tragedies. The murder of Laken Riley was an unspeakable, an appalling crime, a heinous act, and no parent, no family should ever have to bear such a calamity, Raskin said during the floor debate on Tuesday. But this bill fails to take any meaningful action to improve our broken immigration system and to prevent crimes like this from occurring again. American Civil Liberties Union ACLU. Senior Border Counsel Sarah Mehta also spoke out against the legislation. This is the first immigration bill of the new Congress, and if passed, it will strengthen President-elect Trump's hand in unleashing mass deportations on our communities, Mehta said. It will force immigration authorities to detain individuals accused of nonviolent theft offenses like shoplifting, regardless of whether or not law enforcement even deems them as a threat. Mandating mass detention will make us less safe, sapping resources and diverting taxpayer money away from addressing public safety needs. Detaining a mother who admits to shoplifting diapers for her baby, or elderly individuals who admit to nonviolent theft when they were teenagers, is wasteful, cruel, and unnecessary, Mehta added. The House passed the Laken Riley Act last year in a vote of 251 to 170, with 37 Democrats joining Republicans in backing the legislation. But the proposal went nowhere in the Senate, which was then controlled by Democrats. As the bill heads to the Senate, political analysts are closely watching how it may shape the broader immigration debate. Some view the act as a test case for the Republican majority's ability to push through key legislative priorities under Trump's leadership. Meanwhile, Democrats are weighing how their response could influence public perception ahead of the next election cycle. The political stakes are high, with both parties aiming to appeal to their respective bases while addressing national concerns. The outcome of the Senate vote may set the tone for future debates on immigration and border security in the United States. Republicans now hold the majority in the Senate. Senator Katie Britt, a Republican of Alabama, reintroduced the bill on Tuesday, arguing that U.S. voters had delivered a verdict to act on immigration in the November elections. Congress has an obligation to Laken, her family, and to families in every corner of our country to do everything in our power to help prevent this type of tragedy from occurring again, Britt said in a statement. That's why it's imperative we pass the common-sense Laken Riley Act with all due haste. 60 votes will be needed to advance the bill in the Senate, so Republicans will have to persuade 8 members of the Democratic caucus to join them in supporting the proposal. At least one Senate Democrat, John Fetterman of Pennsylvania, has already signed on as a co-sponsor of the bill. Laken Riley's story is a tragic reminder of what's at stake when our systems fail to protect people, Fetterman said in a statement. Immigration is what makes our country great. I support giving authorities the tools to prevent tragedies like this one while we work on comprehensive solutions to our broken system. Your perspective matters. What impact do you think this legislation will have on immigrant communities and public safety overall? Will this legislation help rebuild public trust in the immigration system, or will it deepen divisions? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on similar stories. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your voice matters in these discussions. See you next time.